and running for the first Monday of the start of a full trading week in the new month of September. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Frontier Opening Bell. Let's a quick touch into the markets. 1.47%. The Nigerian market roared about 1.4 trillion in the month of August. Very nice way of ramping it up. But of course, Friday was the first day in the month of September. The stock market index went up to another higher level, 15-year level, 67,527. The BRVM in Cote d'Ivoire was up by 1.48%. The two biggest exchanges in West Africa were all in the green. The Egyptian market started the week in Cairo down by 0.78%. That was on Sunday, 3rd of September. Then you've got the NSC, the Nairobi market, sinking further, 1.10%. On Friday, the index reading 98.14. The South African markets below the 77, 76, 75, Nasdaq doing 74, down by 0.22%. Some of the days last week were a little bit nail-biting for the largest exchange on the continent. Again, because of its correlation and exposure to the wider global emerging markets. So let's keep that behind us. The big stories making headlines out of East Africa is that the Africa Climate Finance Summit will start tomorrow in Nairobi, Kenya. Frontier Africa reports is a boot on the ground covering that for you. We'll report on that for you during the week. Now, the Kenyan Power says it's looking to the Treasury to help it recover about 1.5 billion unpaid bills from various government agencies and others. Standard Chartered of Kenya is looking at 145,000 shillings capital limit for offshore investments. Kenya is looking at various options at bringing in FX into the country. So the government is allowing a number of organizations in the market to roll out certain kind of funds that will help trap those funds coming into East Africa's biggest economy. And Ethiopian lender Dashin Bank says it got about $40 million from a DFI to support agri exports of one of the agri-based economies on the continent. That's Ethiopia. So Nigeria's president, let's go to West Africa. Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is heading to the G20 summit in New Delhi in India this week, and he's going with some of Nigeria's billionaires and businessmen, Aliko Dangote, Femi Otedola, Tony Elumelu, the chairman of Transcorp Group, as well as UBA, one of Nigeria's Pan-African biggest banks, as well as Jim Ovia of Zenith Bank, the founder and chairman, as well as others, including the CEO of the Nigerian Exchange Group, Oscar Onyema. It is the first time in recent years that a Nigerian president is heading for a big event of this nature, looking for foreign investments in the country and going with businessmen and those who are in the financial services industry. And this is the first major of such trip to be made by a Nigerian president since he took office about 100 days ago. By the way, President Tinubu will be marking his 100 days in office on Wednesday. And Rand Merchant Bank, the news coming through this morning from South Africa was that the Rand Merchant Bank, headquartered in South Africa, has been able to secure $47 million, an additional $5 billion in Naira currency for GIZ Industries. GIZ is a German company that's involved in manufacturing processes and products across Africa, in particular in Nigeria. And this is a hefty cash on the table to support its operations, meanwhile by Rand Merchant Bank. Because Rand Merchant Bank also had an offshore subsidiary operating out of Lagos in Nigeria. And the Nigerian government is planning a new minerals sector corporation to woo investors. That's what the word on the street is. But how will that work with the existing Nigerian Mining Corporation, which was set up 40, 50 years ago, but has since gone moribund? We expect to get more clarity on that. If Nigeria is able to set this up, could be in line with what you have in countries such as Botswana and Zambia and a few other African countries, using the corporation as an investment vehicle for the mining sector to get Nigeria's the best of its mineral resource in relations with other local and international mining firms. And Ghana's Goldfield says is reporting 4% dip in its gold production in the first half of this year. That's a backward-looking data, by the way. And Mali president says he signed a new mining code to raise the government's stake in the country's mining sector. Nigeria is looking at its neighbors and others and see how they're using the resource and instruments of government to secure more resource for their country. Let's get on to Southern Africa and look at with those what's making the headlines as we start the new business in markets. With the International Monetary Fund says South Africa is set for growth if President Ramaphosa's reforms could take place. South Africa is heading towards the major election next year, 2024, and President Ramaphosa will have to deliver on economic reforms, and the IMF is waiting to see that happen. In the meantime, the government has launched a 1.2 billion rand fund to take farmers off the grid due to the problems with Eskom. And Zimbabwe's debt discussions is expected to move on despite protests against the re-election of President Emmerson Mnangagwa for another 5-year term, which was declared by the electoral body. Some of the rivals of President Mnangagwa is asking for a nationwide protest over the result of that election held about 2 weeks ago. President Emmerson Mnangagwa will be sworn in for a second term of 5 years this week. And Zimbabwe and Equinor and Azule Energy is looking to advance oil and gas exploration offshore the coast of Angola. Okay, let's bring on the North African market. Egypt's reporting its money supply for the year-on-year for the month of July about 24.363%. That's according to the Central Bank of Egypt. Tunisia's money market rate steadied at about 8% in the month of August. We finished that on Thursday, while Tunis Ray, which is listed on the Tunisia Stock Exchange, reporting January to June profit down by nearly 20%. And the OCP Group of Morocco says its turnover was about 19.2 billion Moroccan dinars so far in 2023. That's the first 6 months of the year. And those are the headlines for the markets and the economies across Frontier Africa. It's a very busy week from the G20 to the Africa Climate Finance to the inauguration of President Emmerson Mnangagwa in Zimbabwe. Quite a lot to talk about this week, so keep your eyes here on Frontier Opening Bell. I am Bosun Amofai. Have a great week, everyone, and welcome to a brand new month of September. Have a great day.